security way. In this kind of way.
But a fighter pilot on the run doesn't rely on his eyes alone. In a jam, he's got a couple of tricks to help him out.
In a jam.
Chaff, flare, deceive, and deflect. Chaff is essentially tinfoil confetti, which confuses the bandit's radar.
I like JK's knife shit, okay? JK's throwing knife life is okay, JK had a stream VOD up, right? And it was about trying to inflict bleeding while at a low level. And I just sat on the edge of my chair watching this recording as one of the fucking lovely fellow chatters say, no, use these daggers that this bitch likes using that everyone says suck because they're really good at dropping condies on people, right? The fucking, oh my gosh, the little stone fuck daggers you get at the starting area of fucking DLC Landia, the ones that fan out into, it's like the crow's quills from DSO is a good at ranged thing that is, if you use it in a way, harder for people to deal with. And it's really fun, and it's really nice, and it's super cool, right? So hear me the fuck out. Someone in chat was screaming about it, and it might have been me. I could have been on the stream that day. I don't remember. And I'm just I don't think so. I think I'm watching it at home on VOD form, and I'm sitting there aggroedly thinking this, as then another chatter, lovingly, another chatter pops in and types this shit. And I'm pretty sure that I just sit there fucking broken because I see it fly by. I can't help but read everyone's chat everywhere. And so it goes whoosh right past us and whoom, my dude. So it does this shit, right? Check it, hear me out. I see this thing fly, and this man is spending hours. I'm pretty sure it's 4 hours of life that we will never get back, but I was so glad to lose. Of trying to do some shit with stacking condies, and then eventually this loving chatter gets brought up on screen ages after for saying this. And you know what? They were right. Those fucking stone script daggers, whatever the fuck script daggers, the ones that fan out, they're super fucking dope for condition dropping, and that's all. They have no other fucking use in the game at all. At fucking all. If you're being a shithead and you have 99 vigor because you can, and it feels so nice after having none that you just want to do it. Oh, it's so nice. But it's not very efficacious when you do that. All right, so that's why I like JK's content. We're gonna come back there.
Welcome, guys.
Well, I mean, also that it's always knife challenges.
Another video.
I've seen Bloodborne knife challenges, but I haven't been able to play Bloodborne. I want to fuck with the Sony hardware.
Today we'll be discussing Denim's and H3's response to my lawsuit, which was due on Friday of last week. They did respond, and I'm going to go over it for you guys now. And I'm just going to put it this way. This is just a total flawless victory for us. That's how I'm seeing it, and I'll explain why. So here's the filing, and I'm only going to show Denim's because they have the same attorney, and H3's was nearly identical to Denim. So I'm just going to look at hers, and it represents both. So basically,
he said he was gonna put up VOD content. So me noticing that, yes, indeed, this is the current Moisty Boy room. Before the fucking console station thingy was installed, that was the Moisty Boy room that I'm the most used to. So I'm used to the wall being exposed a lot more. And personally, I wasn't a fan of the dark console. However, it still looks nice. I'm not a fan of it. I wouldn't have it in my house. I'd go with a lighter one. Either painted white, but preferably just bare ass wood, especially on carpet. Oh my gosh, yes. So, anyways, I was never the biggest fan of this one, right? But it's okay. It's fine. It'll be fine. Just keep telling ourselves it'll be fine. Moisty Boy's never gonna change it. We're stuck like this. It's so busy in the background It's so busy back there. That's all. It's just very busy in the background now. So, whatever. We're going to die like this. It's going to be like this forever. We're never going to live another day when it's not so busy in the background. We're going to grow old and die this way. It's going to be a fucking abysmal fucking state of affairs. It's never going to stop. We can't get away from it. It's going to be like this forever. Forever and ever and ever. It's never going to fucking change. It's busy back there now. He wants it that way.
What you'll see if you scroll this is they're answering the complaint, and you're just going to see a lot of copy paste. Defendant denies.
It is later than it would usually be, right? Like, I'm fairly certain this has been reviewed by LawTube by at least a couple days. However, we get to hear a man's thing, and we get to see him do not long form, but like, you know, it's not like a podcasty thing, and he gets to do commentary that's edited and to the point. Again, I guess in that context, I should shut up. Huh?
Denies. Defendant denies. Paragraph 6 contains legal conclusions with no responses required. Lots of copy pasting. It's all very just formal, kind of saying as little as possible. Answer paragraph 9, defendant lacks sufficient knowledge or information to form a belief. Essentially just saying we can't say. This one says contains legal conclusions which no response is required. Just basically not saying anything. Number 16, they start to move on to defendant denies the allegations. Defendant denies the allegations. They copy pasting. Deny, 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 deny. That's the Hassan form. Look at all this. Look at this copy pasting. It's the same answer between 22 and fucking 40. Is it the same? Between 22 and 45.
It's a fortnight of repastes.
Answering paragraph whatever, 32 in this case, defendant lacks sufficient knowledge or information to form a belief concerning the truth of the factual allegations contained there within. On that basis,
this man said he was going to do edited content again. And it's nice to see him dropping an 8-minute VOD. He had to be told what a VOD is. He has old man vernacular, which is fine by me because, like, I like hanging out with old men. So, you know, whatever. Life's life. You live. I just like hanging out with old dudes. They're pleasant.
Just denies such allegations. So they copy pasted that monster of a claim, 22 to 24. This is essentially an exercise in saving money and cutting every corner possible and doing as little as possible, right? That's what's happening here. Continue on, more copy pasting, paragraph.
How are you? What's your day like? What you doing? How you feeling?
46
That's good.
To Jesus. To 63 says identical things. It just says paragraph 46 contains legal conclusions to which no response is required. And they copy paste that. And then they move on to copy pasting here. 65 to 70, defendant denies the allegations. 71, defendant denies the allegations. So this is essentially what this continues to be. They really don't say anything in this. Everything is like, I don't know, we don't know. We can't, how can we conclude? We don't know. Just that repeated and copy pasted like 100 times.
It's gonna be a long and protracted fucking ordeal now because I mean, someone had to go and crowdfund, which is gonna help accrue generational wealth for their attorneys, and that's great. Let's see. It behooves them to actually litigate all of this, right? Like, our drama slop cohorts say litigate a lot, sometimes at a not the most, you know, appropriate time. So this will be actual litigation. And so they are legitimately litigating it, and that'll be fun. Great.
Here's when they have now the ability to set their case forth, to explain their defense. They have claimed that our lawsuit is frivolous. Hassan has claimed it. They have claimed it. Everybody who is trying to support them, Ian Idubs has claimed it. They say it's frivolous. Why then have you declined to state, do the minimum amount of work in your case to explain it? Here, first affirmative defense for fair use. Complaint in each and every cause and action set forth fails to state facts sufficient to constitute a cause of action upon which relief can be granted. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. This is their defense. This is their answer. on fair use. Plaintiff's claims are barred in whole or part by the equitable doctrine of unclean hands. I'll tell you, the only unclean hands here are yours, Bucko. I resent that.
I thought, okay, so we've been like watching his older content. So I thought he was gonna say something about the only unclean hands were his hands after hitting his wife's box, because him saying something about hitting Mrs. Klein's box one time has been like seared in my brain as like one of those things that you heard and you can't unhear. It's like when you hear hopelessness calling, you can't unhear it. So it kind of, yeah. It's not like the same as hopelessness, but like, let's be fucking real. Though not the same as hopelessness, you still can't unfucking hear it. It's like someone telling you Santa's not real. I went and told everyone I knew because I thought it was like the coolest thing ever that my mom was like working hard to ensure I had a fucking like good life. And like I was so glad to tell the homies there was no Santa. But I didn't know that they ought not to have known that. I just wouldn't engage with it anymore, right? Like, clearly. That's when you, like, teach them the value of setting forth the requirements for how you'll engage shit. And just be like, I choose not to engage this at this time. Thank you very much. Just explain how to deal with that. That's fucking helpful. That's better than knowing about Santa.
That is actually a legal doctrine. I'm just being silly. Yeah, it's just copy pasting. I mean, it's unbelievable. The lack of effort that's gone into this. So that's what it is by their attorney. Besides what's written here, the most interesting takeaways are these, and I'll tell you. Kind of as I touched on, one, they did the laziest, cheapest response, and they failed to tell their story. They had a chance to respond, and they did not take it. The biggest thing to me is they failed. They had the opportunity.
I mean, they are saving time. And if they just want it to be long and protracted, they might already be under the auspice. They're just going to have their expenses paid for by whomever consumes their content and feels sympathetic to them. And also they know that they got like folks that were like saying, hey, it's going to go to Ethan anyway. Here, take this $5. So they might just be banking on that being a consistent thing and just streaming through it. Like, they can deal with a long, protracted engagement in a way that only the Balines can support. It would distribute viewership. It would do some stuff, bro.
Opportunity to file a motion to dismiss. This is what you do when you believe you have a frivolous case. You're telling the judge, this is so frivolous that I'll just set the facts straight for you, and it's so obviously fair use that we don't need to waste anyone's time going any further than this. They did not file a motion to dismiss, which means the attorney looked at the facts and considered them all, that they all have merit, and that there was no way in hell a judge would grant a motion to dismiss. That is essentially a concession that the lawsuit is not frivolous. Because if it was, they would have filed motions to dismiss. That would have been a no-brainer. They didn't do it. The lawyer said, let's not even do that. Let's save money, right? You have no chance of winning. So that's interesting. The other interesting thing about this is that they did not file any counterclaims. We were expecting them to try to file counterclaims, which means they would include in their response some ridiculous trumped up defamation or something, just something to give them leverage against us, to be like, oh, so they have to deal with this. Or you want to negotiate? Well, we're going to drop our counterclaim now, and you have to drop your lawsuit, this and that. They didn't even do that because here's the truth. Because either their lawyer is lazy, which might be, I don't know, or he was like, I don't see any legitimate cause. It would just be a waste of time. But the thing is, they both each raised $40,000, so they have $80,000 in the coffer, the war coffers here. And this is the cheapest, laziest dog shit response you can imagine. No motion to dismiss and no.
It sounds like he consulted his attorneys before maybe bringing this up.
Counterclaims filed. So this to us is a total flawless victory. No motion to
I have no clue if he even did that. I don't fucking know.
dismiss, no counterclaims, no case even set forth in the complaint. Lazy, horrible, dog shit.
Did he? I have no fucking clue. I'm still like learning about old shit, and I've been keeping up with the. It's good background noise as I do stuff. This is fun while I'm like, not this. This is fun to focus on. But like otherwise, the longer shit is really cozy in the background when I'm doing chores, right? It's like so convenient. It's just
Straight L's
yapping.
all around, guys. I'll be honest. Me and my lawyer.
And he gets to take an L, like most of the time. He's taking Dan is dispensing an L. It's cozy.
Were both pretty floored when we
I know
saw
about this Olympic shit. I don't know shit about that. That's news to me.
this because we were accepting these guys to go to war. They were talking a big game. Denims was just raising money a few months ago to sue me for defamation. What happened? What happened? You were so tough. You were talking all kinds of shit. You started to GoFundMe. What happened to this? You had a chance and you didn't even write in a counterclaim. What a coward loser you are. What a coward loser you are, Denims. No counterclaim, no motion to dismiss. Fat L's, cringe, you lose, I win. So what happens now is it goes to, basically it goes to discovery. And then after that, it goes to summary judgment, which is where I think we're going to win, which is essentially after discovery, they have to actually write a response to the charges, to the judge, and then we get to respond to it. And then they respond to our response. And that is basically putting it in the judge's hands to say, hey, we're looking for a summary judgment. We don't need to go to trial. And I think that's where we're going to win. Personally, that's basically it. There's really nothing much to say about it. It's just a total and complete loss. They talked a big game. They had a chance to show it. They failed to level any defense, any criticism at all. They've conceded that this lawsuit is not frivolous. And the fun is only going to begin now. So I don't know that they're going to be able to copy paste their way out of this one, but we shall see. I just basically want to know why Denims didn't sue me for defamation like she promised. I was really hoping to have a good time with her and, you know, I was looking forward to that claim of defamation, but any chance right here. I gave her golden opportunity. No motion to dismiss, no counterclaims. Why is that? Lazy, dumb, losers. No money spent. Raised money, didn't spend the money. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that. So we will stay tuned.
Oh, didn't spend it on, like, might be sitting on top of it growing, but we don't know if this can be a protracted engagement.
Again, this is Denims and H3's. Frogan's response will be due in a couple of weeks, so we will enjoy that. Although I expect it to look something like this, but she has a different attorney, so who knows? Maybe we'll see a different strategy unfolding. But me and my lawyer, we honestly expected too much. We expected way too much of our opponent. We thought for sure there would be a counterclaim at least, right? But they're dumb and they're bad and they're wrong. And they don't have the facts, they don't have the law, and also they're hateable. That's 3 strikes. You're out, ladies. This is Ethan Klein, taking a hit of my inhaler and saying, I'll see you guys in the next one. That shit hits good.
It's to abate the narcolepsy symptoms, I believe. I don't know. Or it was either that. I think it was that. Because, like, for understandable reasons, neurological reasons make driving hard sometimes. So, that's totally understandable as fuck. Okay, is there music at the start of this? JK.
Hey, it's JK. Welcome, valued members of the Knifeu Nation, to the next in our line of throwing knife-based challenge runs, and today I'm going back to one of the most popular games of the 90s. Back then, Rare were pumping out smash hits for the Nintendo 64. Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Perfect Dark, the list goes on and on. Honestly, it was the first time I actually remember being really fascinated by a specific game dev studio. But no game they made was more beloved than GoldenEye 007, also known as GoldenEye 64. This game was a huge hit back then and was one of the first FPS games to pull off home console multiplayer successfully. But we're not here to do multiplayer today. Today, we're going to try out this game's throwing knives and see if we can beat the entire one-player mode with them. Now, the first question is, how do we even get throwing knives? They aren't present.
I want to tinkle. I'm sorry.
You know the 11th commandment. Thou shalt be ashamed of thy natural anatomy.
Just destroyed me. And I didn't have any formal education. I had a real chance to be successful in any discipline.
Sorry, I'm gonna tinkle real quick.
Blind chance to be a winner. You can be killed.
You think it's because dead people make good fertilizer?
He was honest, so that's why he wrote nursery rhymes into robotics. Words.
I guess sometimes certain things get misinterpreted.
Like what?
Not sure.
He was honest. Just like your father. You're just like your father. I was a software guy that built full stack application in many different languages. I just have to be a winner. I just have to be a winner. Be a winner. What do the words mean? Be a winner. These words rule your life. Front end, back end, rule, database, your life, architecture, your life, database. Because of the meaning of these words, you can be locked up until you die. Server communication. And then I branched into software testing. I branched into mobile. I branched into mobile development. You can be happily bumbling along, doing what you think you're supposed to do. I wanted my dad to help me build a fighting robot back in 2017. Doing the
Okay, we're gonna talk about a weird fucking life thing.
Around you, and you can feed yourself and house yourself and mobile happily.
All right, so my mineral oil that I use for, like, you know, my cutting board, etc. Guess what happened in cleaning shit and lubricating shit and taking care of shit where it's applicable? Guess what the fuck happens? Holy shit. It spilled. I always keep it inside a plastic bag, but it saturated the plastic bag and it started getting all over the drawer. So I used it to, like, you know, rub down the drawer. I don't drink it. I don't put it in my body, but I use it for a lot of things around the house. I put it on my body sometimes. Not in it, just on it.
Felt good about yourself and people smiled at you and then they twist words. CNC printer, a cupcake.
You know what I mean? Just to have my shit get yanked down, so.
They're both banned. So nice.
Humpty Dumpty, Lewis Carroll had important things to say, but he lived in a world where they fucking kick his door down and drag him away in handcuffs.
So, we'll see how long this motherfucking shit lasts.
To a mental institution if he was honest. So that's why he wrote nursery rhymes. I hate my mother. I hate my mother. I hate my mother. I hate my mother. I do. She was a good, honorable
Cha-cha gram?
I love my mother. You just destroyed me. And I didn't have any formal education.
And I'm gonna hate my life for it. It's good cream. It's a little moist in there.
I had a real chance to be successful. Just like you're just like your father. You're just like your father. Just like your father. You're just like